What's up, YouTube? I am going to show you how I get my leads in this video and how I skip trace them. Okay, so let's get straight into it. All right, so this is how I skip trace my leads. So I have a VA that pulls the data for me, right? If you guys want to know how to pull the data, I'll leave a link to the video in this video. But how I pull my data is from code violation, city lists, and then there's tax delinquencies as well. But now I delegated that to my VA. So every month he sends me a link with all the lists, right? So we have tax delinquency and code violation, Texas and Florida. So what I would do is, let's see, I would open it up. Okay, so it's going to be this one. So we got Arlington, Dallas, and another one. Let me get that list. Wait, which one is this? San Antonio. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one. I guess I should explain what all these folders are if you guys are curious, if it'll help anybody. So here's the way that my VA sends it, right? So it's very important that whenever you delegate a task to someone, you have to be very specific on, how they do that task and make sure that they do it that way every single time. So each list, right, is a certain amount, a group of cities. So we have two tax delinquent Texas. Now, why are there's two tax delinquent Texas? I don't know. Maybe he got these at two separate times. But usually how I want it to be is it's either tax delinquent or code violation. And it's separated by Texas and Florida. Well, those four categories. Tax delinquent, code violation, Texas and Florida. Right? So there should be four lists always, right? One of each. One tax delinquent from Texas, one tax delinquent from Florida, and so on. And so when I click on it, I have the individual lists, right? So this is the data that came from San Antonio exclusively, Dallas exclusively, and Arlington exclusively. And then there's another list with all of them combined. I take that combined list, I open it up, and then I download it as a CSV. I'm going to download that one. I'm going to download this one, all four of them. I'm going to download this one, and then I'm going to download this one. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over to kind skip tracing right here. I'm going to log in. Okay. So then I'm going to skip trace, right? And then I'm going to drop them in here. Going to do this one first. I wonder if I could do multiple. I'm not sure. Nope. Just one list at a time. Next, right? And then so just map them out. Okay, hold on. So I did this one first. Ah, that's right. So this has to be fixed. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. Right? Let me just get this little lesson out, little life lesson right here. Before, it would take you like hours. It would take me like hours. Maybe even I would stretch it out to days before I realize what's wrong. Why is it not working? A lot of times when you're figuring things out by yourself and you don't have a coach, it's just little small things like this that you don't know what's wrong because maybe you don't know how to use Google Sheets or whatever. But really each column, right, has to be named. And then that's how it maps on here, right? So where it says first name, last name, pick a column where there is no column because you see where it says City of Arlington, that's just what this is. So we need to delete this because it's combining all these columns. So just delete that row. And so now it'll be a little different, right? Now this column is named address, this one's city, this one's state, this one's zip code. I don't know if it needs to be this little thing in between it separating, but insert row above. So let's just get rid of that one just in case. I'm gonna say address, city, state, zip code. So boom. All right, so it's all saved. So let's do that for each and every one. Yeah, this is the boring admin stuff that you hire a VA to do because it's very boring and repetitive, but it needs to get done. All right, add one row above. Boom. Okay, so now let's re-download these. So download CSV, download CSV, download CSV. So let me explain another nuance that you guys would not pick up on this video if I didn't tell you. Let me download CSV. So I downloaded all of them. So here's the thing. When I go over here on Kindskip Tracing, right, or any software that you use, that you're gonna have to map these things out. As you guys could see, this list that I have, all it is addresses. Like it's just the address, city, state, zip code. And there's a you want to always separate address, city, state, and zip code. Always separate those by different columns. Because if not, you're going to have issues later on, especially if you're using a software like Kind Skip Tracing to skip trace for you. There is no mailing address. There is no name either. So, and that's what happens. You're only going to come across this problem when you pull the data from, you know, directly from the city, right? We're not using PropStream to pull these lists. We're not even using any software to pull these lists. These are manually being pulled. We are sending out emails to the city. We are filling out request forms to the city, and they are giving us this data. And then I have a VA who is manually organizing these addresses, right? So we're making these lists by hand, by ourselves. So, but when you go on PropStream or Propwire, right? I'll pull a list right now because I think I need one anyways. Uh, let's go do, let's do Georgia. Let's do, um, so we're gonna do Roswell, Georgia. We're gonna do Milton, Georgia. Oops. How do you spell Milton? Whoops. Let's do Roswell. And then, yeah, that's not a city right there, Milton. Let's do Sandy Springs, Georgia, Marietta, Georgia. Come on, Marietta, Georgia. Let's do Decatur. Let's do Dallas. Dallas, Georgia. All right. So Propwire gives us a limit, right? Um, so there's 176, right? And I'm gonna bring this back to skip tracing, but I'm gonna show you the differences between this data and then Propwire data. But this data is good. This data is really good. And even though you have these little difficulties, like you're not going to have all the information that Propwire would give you, it doesn't matter. Like as long as you have a good skip tracing software or skip tracer, because it's so hard to get this data. Anybody could go on Propwire and do what I'm doing, but not that many people know how to get this data or have the time and the patience to do it. So let's see, lead type. Actually, I just want to do property type. I want to do single family homes, right? More, I want to do owner filters. I want to do individual owned, right? Years of ownership. I want to do a minimum of 5 years. Um, let's see, save and close. What does that bring us to? 74,000. Good shit. That's good shit. Let me see what else we could do. Absentee owned. Mm, hmm. Let's do, how about this? Financial filters, estimated value, estimated equity. Let's do assess total value, assess land value, estimated value. Let's do total assessed value, minimum of 100 grand. What does that bring it to? 68. All right, let's bring estimated equity, estimated value. Let's do 100 grand again, right there. Estimated equity. Let's see what happens. Yeah, estimated equity 50 to 100. Is that right? Is that what it? All right. Let's see what happens. What does that bring it to? 59 filters. Let's do a minimum. Mm, let's do a minimum of 100 grand in equity. I mean, yeah, a minimum of 100 grand. What does that bring it down to? Oh, same. All right, yeah, let's pull those. Shit. Yeah, let's pull them. So what you would do here is this. Okay, so that's 10,000 leads. Uh, Google. Bro. Oh, okay. Come on. Oh man, what the hell? I just lost my I just lost my list. Damn. I remember. It was Mary. Look, was that it? Yeah. So that one, that one. And we did Roswell. And then what was the other one? Decatur. Oh, I already got that. Decatur County, whatever. What's another good one? Alpharetta. Alpharetta, Georgia. All right, let me reach. Okay, boom. I really didn't want the county though. I don't want Decatur County. I want Decatur. No, 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 no. City. There we go. Damn, that's a lot. Okay, let's do this one more time. Hope y'all are bearing with me. All right. Property filters, got that. Owner filters, individual, years of ownership, minimum of 5. Financial filters, we're gonna bring it to 50% equity or more. That's $100,000 in equity, estimated value 100,000. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's it. Boom, 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 boom. This is Abel's market. Abel, are you still there? Probably not.
Of course, I'm still here, man. You're doing my market.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm in his market, so I think those are the best ones. I mean, I could do a step further and go absentee owner. Financial filters are that's all good. We got individual owners. Oh, years of ownership 5. Shit. Maybe we could do this instead. What does that bring it to? 80 grand? Hmm. All right, whatever. All right, absentee owners. Let's see what it. Ugh. Let's see what happens. I usually don't target absentee owners. 4,000. Damn. Shit. That brought it down to 4,500, dude. Shit. Let's see. What if I bring it to 5 years of ownership? What does that bring it to? It's still there? That's it? Damn, bro. Absentee owners? Oh my gosh. Man, that brought it down a lot, dude. Honestly, I'd rather just, yeah, take it off. Wait, can I take that off or no? What does that do? 73,000. Dude, that's ridiculous. Fuck it, dude. Let's do it. Absentee owners, 5 years of ownership. Let's just take off the no years of ownership. Let's see what happens. 11. What the fuck? How did that do that? That didn't make any sense. All right, we're at 11. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna download this list, right? Whoops. We're gonna select all 10,000. So Propwire gives you a free 10,000 leads. I think every day. Every day you get 10,000. So we're gonna
That's fire.
yeah, so we're gonna download this list, download only. Yes, download only. Download 10,000 properties. So go to my activity. I shouldn't have skipped over that. I could have showed y'all the point that I was making right there. So with Propwire, you could download all the information for free. It'll give you the name, the mailing address, first, last name, other possible owners, relatives, email addresses. It'll give you all that. All right, so I'm going to download this list. All right, so now I have this list right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring this to my Google Drive, show y'all how I organize everything. What is it on Google Drive? So organized and clean data, 2025. We are in August 2025. 2025, August. So I just bring that right here. So I could just mess with it in Google. And so I really this copy that. So I'm just pressing copy, control copy, and then I'm gonna hopefully paste it right here. There you go. Cool. So now I could exit out of that. I could delete that. Right. And this is Propwire, um, Georgia list. We're gonna say August 23rd, 2025. Uh, I don't know how to spell. So boom, and so now that I have this, I could just download it as a CSV file, and now I could bring it to kind skip tracing. So back to my first point of how I can't map these fields. So I can't even skip trace the list that I just got from my VA, right? These lists, I can't skip trace that through kind skip tracing through the website. What I'd have to do is I know the guy who works there at kind skip tracing, so I just send it to his email, and he would skip trace it manually just through the email. Um, but he doesn't work on the weekends. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna skip trace, and then now I'm gonna bring the Propwire list over here. I'm gonna click next. Now all of these things are automatically mapped because it picks up on it, right? So see how I said the first column or the first row has to be the name of each column, right? So address, city, state, zip, county. Then you got living square footage, year built, lot, acres. This is all the stuff that Propwire gives you for free. Versus with me, it's just address, city, state, zip, right? Bed, bath, all that stuff. So it's automatically mapped in here. So first name, owner last name. You got the owner mailing address, and then you got the property address, and then all this other stuff. Oh, there actually is an owner to first, owner to last name. So the likelihood of the skip trace of this being accurate is way higher than with this. Because I pulled it with Propwire and Propwire gave me all the other details that the skip tracing software needed, it's way more likely that I'm going to have like a 99.9% hit rate on every address that I have. Versus with this, the hit rate might be, it just depends. It could be 80, it could be 90. A lot of times it's 90. Sometimes though, it's like 80, just depends. So I would proceed, right? And so I want to suppress this against my other lists that I have, just to make sure that I don't pay for skip tracing the same thing twice. I'm gonna skip trace against everything because, well, I don't think I have any Georgia lists anyways. I'm pretty positive I don't. But we'll just do everything anyways, just cause. All right, suppress. Oh, available credits to use. Wait, records. Dang, only 1,400? Wow. 1,400 out of 10,000 records? Is that for real? Wait. Oh, this says only 1,600. Hmm. That's not 10,000. Huh. I wonder why I did that. Let's see. Yeah, these are two smaller, different size. Let's see what happened there. Maybe it didn't all load. But anyways, that's how I would skip trace it on kind skip tracing. Boom. So you'd pay with credits. Yeah. So list name, I would just say uh Propwire, Georgia list. Pay with credits. Boom. And so generally, I mean, that's a small amount. So it'd probably take like 5 minutes or less. And then it'll just pop up and I could just download the file. But yeah, that's how I skip trace right there using kind skip tracing. If you do it with Propwire, it's going to get a higher hit rate versus if you pull the city data. But if you pull the city data, you have a better list. So, hope that got some value out of it. So, is that skip trace software good? Yeah, I use kind skip tracing for everything. I love kind skip tracing. It's cheap and it's effective and it's efficient. Have you had any success in the Tampa, Florida? That's where I'm from. Yeah, Tampa is a great market. The key is to get all the cities around the major cities. So not just Tampa, but the little cities around it too. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but like Cape Coral or something, or Fort Myers. Did I mean Macon, Georgia? No. I got one, a list from there. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with what? Oh, Macon? Nothing. Macon is kind of the ghetto though, right? Abel, what's wrong with Macon? Why were you hesitant about clicking it?
Known for drugs, violence, crime, and vacancy rates. So I would stay away from Macon unless you're getting it for like 5 grand or 2 grand.
Yeah, Macon's Macon's a little
Terrible. It's terrible. Stick to North Atlanta, like the list you pulled. Beautiful list. That's a beautiful list, man.
yeah, it was very niche down. You see how it went from like 200,000 to 11,000.
Yeah.
So
You
Gwinnett,
stick to that, you'll make a lot of money.
yeah, so that's skip tracing right now. It should be done any second. Yeah, see there it is. See it had a 94.9% hit rate. So, yeah. So, do y'all have any other questions on skip tracing at all? You said why was I hesitant on clicking absentee owners? Just because uh I usually don't pull specifically absentee owners. Nothing's wrong with them. I just wanted I just know I've made a lot of money from people who still live in their house. It's just time for them to go. So I don't really care if it's absentee owner or owner occupied, but yeah, that's the only reason why. The main data points to get the best lists, if it's the main data points are the cities around the main city, right? So I don't usually pull data for Dallas, Texas. Like I usually never do Dallas, Texas, even though that's my market, that's my main market. I do the cities around Dallas that are still technically Dallas. So like Plano, you know, Garland, Mesquite, Addison, those are little cities around Dallas, but are technically they're still Dallas. But the actual city of Dallas, like I never closed a deal there. I just made hundreds of thousands of dollars around Dallas. Isaiah, what happened to that Orlando deal? They were just asking, they're just doing too much. They're just doing too much. Way too much. I mean, I'm still talking to them, but at the end of the day, I was just like, no, this isn't worth it. They like wanted $10,000 down as a earnest money, you know? Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna end this just the YouTube video for skip tracing.